Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back. This is Bitcoin for Thursday 10 of November. Thursday we got a little bit of a green candle right now, but I don't really think if the bottom is in and the technical target we talked about yesterday, it seems like we've actually come down to 15,568. We talked about that scenario yesterday. So I'm just going to dive into the 1 hour time frame at the moment and let's look at Bitcoin. So yeah, there we are. We made a flag right there. We popped out of the flag, and just as expected, we actually did come all the way down to 15,568. But it doesn't really mean that the bottom is in just yet. I don't really think if Bitcoin has bottomed out. Now there are chances to temporarily go back up to 17,000 and then move lower, because if you look at it that way, on the weekly or the daily, you lost a big support and you might just go back to back test that support and then continue to go lower. Now keep in mind, today is actually 10 November, and tomorrow you could have 11 until you do not have the 12th of November. Now the dates that I'm mentioning when I talk about 12th of November is that, by 12th of November, there's another Fed meeting. I just want to Google this one very quickly right there. So 12th November, and we can have the Fed meeting, okay? So this is what you're going to have. So the FOMC holds 8 regularly scheduled meetings during the year, and other meetings are needed, released October 12th, so November 1 to statement. Now, I do know that there's a Fed meeting on 12th. There was one on 2nd of November, and you can see here that 2nd of November 2000, this article was written by Forbes. Now that's interesting because they say the Federal Open Market Committee concluded its November 1-2 meeting by raising the federal funds rate by 75 basis points. Again, now raising basis points mean that the interest rate is going to move higher and you're going to see 0.75%. So that's not good for crypto and for Bitcoin and for real estates as well. If the interests are going to go higher, the Bitcoin prices are going to go lower. If deflation happens and inflation goes lower, you're going to see pump in the market. So we are near the bottom, which is known as a pivot point if you want to say. And the pivot points means that we are in the middle. For example, this is inflation prices going up, Bitcoin is going down, right? There is going to be a central place where things are going to reverse, inflation goes down, and then Bitcoin goes up. So this middle point is known as the pivot. I don't know if it makes any sense, man, but I'm not an economical student, or a financial student in that case. But we could see Bitcoin trying to move just a little bit up to 17,662. Now, I did want to say that Bitcoin can, because when you broke out of here, do you see this area, 18,936? I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes back up here before dropping lower. Okay, so because psychologically, new psychological levels are going to be created, and what I mean by new psychological level is that now people are thinking that 21,000 was a big deal, and people are going to think 18,000 is a big deal. When Bitcoin goes to 18,000, people are going to think, oh yeah, that's it, the bottom is in. But what you don't understand is that you do have this as resistance. It was support previously, you broke out of it. Can you backtest and go down? Possible, but Bitcoin doesn't do that. Okay, if I show you previously, Bitcoin never actually backtested at any time it broke out. So if I do take you back to January, in the beginning of the year, even when you broke out of here, you didn't actually break out and backtest to go lower. You just broke down and you went down. Okay, in here as well, you broke down and you continue going down. In here, you just broke down and you can just continue moving lower. Okay, so I do expect $9,000 for Bitcoin at least, or even if I do see 14,000 being on the cards as well. So let's talk about that reversal wave previously that I talked about. So from the bottom here to that top right there, you can see that Bitcoin still has to come down to 14,157. It actually bounced off the 1.272. That's where I'm expecting, Bitcoin to maybe make, if it has to make a move, 17,000, but I don't see that even happening. All I see is nothing more than 3 black rows, 3 red candles back to back, and from there, keep in mind that by 12th of November you're coming in, and 12th of November can actually make the market crash to the downside as well. Who knows, you can actually get 12,000 or even 13,000 wicks to the downside and take a little bit of a break here. But this seems like another dollar cost averaging opportunity. But I do, before I close the video as well, this is interesting to talk about, because what I noticed for Bitcoin is that Bitcoin has similarities with FTT as well on the monthly time frames. Let's dive into the monthly and talk about the monthly. Now, if you look at the monthly, this is just the beginning of it, isn't it? If you look at the monthly, it seems like the dump just started, because you're popping out of it, you're looking for that $9,000 to go down. It's actually $8,300, which is the technical target of the bear flag. It is a flag people didn't understand. A lot of people are saying that, oh, that's your bottom, you're gonna go up. But I always said that, no, man, look, this is a flag. You have to pay respect to the flag. It's a pattern after all. Having wishful thinking doesn't really work here, and I think a lot of people have learned the hard way what I learned a long time ago. I was like, okay, if you want to complain, but you're going to learn the hard way. And they did. They did actually learn the hard way. The thing is that, don't you see that, if I bring FTT side by side to Bitcoin with what's happening to FTT right there, if you look at the monthly, we have a very similar situation. The difference is that FTT really went to the downside really badly. And I was predicting FTT for a long time when it was breaking out of here back at $22. I was looking at $22. I was expecting $6. This was a technical target, but it seems that it's actually it has been way more worse than $6. And if you look at that flag, this is the flag. This is like the sideways movement and a crash to the downside. Bitcoin has similarities with FTT at the moment. But I don't think if it's going to pull an FTT, but that's the scenario I'm expecting, big, huge wicks down. Maybe that could be the capitulation for Bitcoin this month. Drop down really badly, boom, bottom out. Who knows, bottom out in November, go all the way down to $8,000, wreck everybody, wreck the whole market, spread fear. And that's what I love about Bitcoin. That's when I love to buy Bitcoin in that particular scenarios. And that's pretty much it for this update at the moment on Bitcoin. It's just a little bit extended one. I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.